your emotions go on some type of journey and then you arrive somewhere. And it's not necessarily to say that, oh, that's because of the music or that's because of the poetry or the painting. It's just the experience of it, just the...
That looks beautiful where you are. And I see the piano. Yeah, the piano.
It's our home. We have house concerts here regularly.
Really?
And we actually, I mean, before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we actually, when we thought that things got better in May and June, we had a house festival where we had 2 weeks of master classes, lessons, concerts, and
Really?
it was really great. But now the Delta is really bad in Florida, so...
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. So are you...
I mean, school is still on, but the cases are as high as they've ever been in Florida. And the vaccination rate is quite low. So but hopefully we'll get out of it sometime soon.
Yes, but you've done this amazing work that I've seen. This the videos that you sent me.
Thank you.
It's amazing. I mean the sound, the work itself, and then with the visuals together, it's just absolutely amazing. Congratulations with this.
Thank you so much. That's really great to hear. Yeah.
Really? What was the inspiration behind this work?
I've done, I mean, in the last 20 years or so, I've done, actually more than that, a number of multimedia live concerts where I combine music with other art forms, painting, animation, film footage, poetry, live dance, even sometimes live streaming. And when last year when COVID came, we were basically in the house for a long time.
Yeah.
And I decided to turn some of these things into video projects. And the poetry series especially started, that was sometimes last fall. And I didn't intend to actually start a series or anything like that. I was reading Lorca, and I thought, oh, that's gonna go great with this particular piece. And then I have this friend who's a great, she does great animation, and I combined everything into this short film, and it turned out to be, at least to me, was really, I was very happy with the final result. So then, in a span of maybe 2 months, every week I started digging into another poet. And that was part of the really fun part, because I've read so much poetry, I went through so much poetry to find something that really I want to do something with. Or some of them I start with the music, and then I think, oh, there must be something that works with that music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or in the case of, there is one where I used a painting by Egon Schiele, and I've always been really obsessed with his paintings, but I never knew that he actually died from the Spanish flu in 1918. And his wife and unborn child died like 3 days after he died from the same illness. So then, and that was during this pandemic, so I thought, well, I want to do something with this, and then I found the Schomburg piece, and then I found the Stefan George little poem that I mixed together. So, and after a while, they became a dozen. So now there are 12 of them. and they're all completely separate, like separate entities. But I also made one long video of all 12 of them. But I'm excited now to start having a live version of them.
Yes.
Yeah, it did. I changed some things, of course, because it's live, but all the music is live mixed with video, and I did the first such performance I did a month ago in Vermont in a big movie theater, and it was really great. I mean, it's more of a film experience than a concert experience, I think. So I have 3 more plans for next month, and I hope nothing gets canceled.
But how do you communicate do you communicate with your audience also, say, explaining to them about this, the work, or do you just leave it to their imagination?
That's a great question. So first, when I started doing this, I thought whatever I do is going to speak for itself.
Yeah.
So I just presented. But then I realized that it really, I mean, it is very different than anything that they would expect to see.
Yeah.
So you have to a little bit prepare the audience. So now I always, when I present live multimedia performances, I always talk. I don't tell them what the meaning of the whole project is.
Yeah.
I'm just explaining what each element, where each element comes from, and maybe some little background of each element, like the film or the poet or the music, and then have the audience get from it whatever they want, like make all the connections that they want to do. I don't want to steer them in any direction.
No, yeah. Because this is always interesting for me, to hear something, to just get the mind going, you know, like you're saying, just to get the audience to think, and then of course everybody from their own background and how they think will get then to the picture that they want. But I always like it when I just get a little bit of a nudge, you know, into a direction of thinking. So
and it's very interesting when often I hear after a multimedia performance like that, I'll hear from the audience, they'll come, oh yeah, this connection was really great, and I never even thought of it.
Yeah.
So that's really, or when they, also I think it's a way, I mean, we live in a time where we're so video obsessed. So, I mean, I love the power of pure music. And I'm not, I mean, what I do is not because I'm not satisfied with the power of music itself, but I mean, there's so many great performers. I just try to do something different.
Well, I think it's great to the way you are connecting all these different art forms, you know, together, and it's really tapping into all the senses. And I think that's also, again, a different experience, you know, than, like you say, just the pure music and maybe just not, you know, like in a concert where it's just, say, the piano and you and on the stage, you know, versus having something where you have visuals with and many other aspects.
Yeah, I 100% agree. My goal is for this not to be a concert or a film or a poetry reading, to be something completely different. None of the elements is more important or is the main one. I just want everything to be one event, more like a theater play where you just follow some type of not storyline, I don't like that word, but your emotions go on some type of journey and then you arrive somewhere. And it's not necessarily to say that, oh, that's because of the music or that's because of the poetry or the painting. It's just the experience of it. Just the, yeah, I mean, as you said, I just want to touch on these sensations that it's so, I mean, we live in a society where we're becoming very, like a word has one meaning and that's what it is. We kind of lost a little bit of this sensation of say something and experience something else, hear something and experience something else.
I totally agree. And I think also we live in a society where we don't listen anymore, you know, where we don't stop and listen and think anymore, because we are fed so many things, you know, we're fed so many instant things that, you know, time to sit still and just let the mind go, that doesn't happen very often. And I think during this pandemic, it did. I think people had much more time to think and to listen and to tap into these types of things.
Yeah, I mean, life is so hectic nowadays, and of course, during the pandemic, you had time to just stop and realize what is going on. But I think maybe part of the appeal of the poetry series that also that they're short and our attention deficit is kind of it is very few people can really sit for 45 minutes and listen to a Schubert sonata. I mean, I would love that, to sit and listen to 45 minutes of a Schubert sonata. But it's just, life is so hectic, and maybe that was part of the reason that they were successful, because each one is between 3 and 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So it's one experience, and then you can go back and check your Facebook page and check your messages and do something. But maybe for 5 minutes you can not do anything else, just watch that.
Yeah. But no, I always find it so fascinating. As a non-artist, how do you get the inspiration? Now, you say you read a poem and then you did the composition, and what is it that what in your mind makes you create this? Can you listen to a poem and find the music, or do you experiment first and you know, do you have to sit and think about it a lot and then something comes up, or do you go and sit in front of the piano and try and experiment with the music?
I mean, some of them started with the poem, some of them started with the music. So when if I start with the poem, I want to find something that is, I mean, first it has to be very short in order to work in this setting. But something that is not very concrete, not very real, something that opens, leaves our imagination to go different places. And then if I find that and I want to do something with it, then I try to find the music or the other third element, animation or film or something that's going to work with that but not take away from it. And I actually almost never use the words during a piece of music. They usually come before part of it and the rest after. Very rarely they come during. It depends on the music. I don't want to also take away from the music I don't want us to be influenced or distracted when we listen to a piece of music with the words.
Oh, I understand.
But at the same time, I mean, I want they to mix, to become one art, not to be words plus music plus film to be one thing. And when I mean, it takes a long time. I just keep in my head trying different things, and sometimes I think they will work, sometimes they don't. Then once I have some type of basic idea what I want to do, then I do the video itself of me playing. So and then once I have, sometimes I do different versions of it because I don't know what's going to work at the end. And then I start the editing process and that's the most fun part because I've done everything. Now I just have to see what works. And I keep, and I always make changes once I start working. I realize, oh, this works, oh, this something that I thought, oh, that's so amazing. It just doesn't work. And there's no explanation why. It just feels right or it doesn't feel right. If there is a rational explanation, that means something's wrong. I want everything to be just to follow the sensation. These films they're not meant to give some type of, they're not meant to have some type of message.
Yeah.
Because we get so many messages nowadays from everywhere. This is just pure sensation, for me, it should be just an artistic experience. You don't need to explain why. You just have to experience it. So I just keep changing, keep messing around, and then at some point it feels, oh, that's right. Maybe a week later it will feel, oh no, I should change that, but I'll arrive at some point where I think, okay, I can now publish this.
Well, I must say the video where you play on the strings of the piano, oh, I so love that video. It is so beautiful. Yes, I never knew that sound could come from the piano.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of music written. It was around 1960s or so, but the one that actually you're talking about, this is actually the very first piece written to be played inside the piano. Cowell wrote this piece called Aeolian Harp, and because I was using a Sappho poem, and what better thing to have than Aeolian Harp with ancient Greek poetry. So and then I didn't wanna, I wanted the image to be just the shape of the inside of the piano, which looks like a lyre, ancient Greek lyre, and me just playing. And then I found this, I think she's from Switzerland, this student in ancient languages who does these poetry readings in ancient Greek, and I got in touch with her and she let me use her recordings of it. So I had this whispering of Sappho readings behind that.
Yeah.
And so that's actually the first of the series, and it's also the first of the live version of this one.
Now I find the whole your visuals and everything, it's amazing, really. And as I say, I didn't know that sound can come from the piano. That's really the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, it's really fun to play also, because it's like completely different experience, and you can still do so many variations of sound because you can use your nails, your fingertips, anything to make. And if you make the sound close to the edge of the string, it creates one color. If you go further inside, it creates different color. You can plug the string with your fingertips, you can plug them with the nails, and so on. So the colors, it offers also a lot of colors, and it's what also I like about this type of playing is that like theater where every gesture means something. So it's very well choreographed. It's not just playing the strings. You have to choreograph every motion which expresses something.
But this way of doing it, now I want to ask you, is it, because I think you are very creative with all what you've done in this series, so many aspects of your creativity. But is there in your industry some sort of restriction on you as an artist, where you are, where you do something and you feel, would this work, or do you yourself feel very free to do this, express yourself in this way?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the good part of it, that there are always people who will not agree with you. I mean, but I remember, like, at the very beginning, we were doing something. It was a violin piano program, and it was a multimedia program, and I was playing on harpsichord some piece by Jean-Philippe Rameau, and then the violinist was playing something by Xenakis, really crazy quarter-tone piece. And then at some point, at the climax, we actually mixed them together. They were coming together along with the screaming people from the screen. So after the concert, somebody was very upset, some early music specialist, that how can you destroy Rameau with playing it along with Xenakis? And I thought, well, if I'm a new music person, I could say, why would you destroy Xenakis with playing something with Rameau? But I mean, that's part of everybody is passionate about something, and that's great. If it's not what you like, that's fine. You do whatever you're passionate about, and I do whatever I am passionate about, and that's how we move forward, I think. But no, I don't feel any restrictions. I mean, I've heard from people who just don't like it.
Yeah.
Or would say, yeah, I didn't get that, or something like that, or that was interesting. So, but no, but that makes me even more excited about doing more of it.
Yeah.
So no, I don't feel any restrictions.
No, that's great, because I think that is then you can really express yourself through your art, because
maybe part of the reason, because I work at university, and there is this university spirit, and we're kind of given freedom to do things, but I understand. So I don't have to make living from this. But if I have to make living from that, then maybe I'll think differently, because it takes a long time for this to be liked, recognized, and so I can really make living out of it. So in a way, working at the university makes this much easier.
I see. And for your students, do you also encourage them to do this, to be more free and experiment, really?
Yeah, and they've done so many great things. Sometimes we do things together. Sometimes they want to do something on their own, because they're in the middle of it. So it's really, and that makes me really happy when they come and say, oh, I have this idea of this program to do that, and then have a dancer there, and so on. So that really feels great. And I've done some projects with them. Most recently, we did something about Bach, which was, we did it on March 3rd, 3-3. It was in the spirit of Bach, and at that time, that was 2 years ago, Bach was going to be 333 years old. And the entire program was in 3 parts, and each part had 3 pieces played on harpsichord, organ, piano, and then everything else, all of that happened inside the very last piece that Bach wrote, which is a triple fugue, which was filmed previously on the screen. So it was kind of a multimedia performance with many of my students, and I mean, it was really great to do it. And I thought it was really in the spirit of Bach.
Mm. Well, I went to a concert now recently. It's 4 young musicians who call themselves Flores and the Flames, and they used Bach and they played it in such a way that my daughter who was with me said to me she wished she could stand up and start dancing. So
that's great. Yeah.
So I love how young people have, you know, can just do these types of things and just sort of break the rules a little bit, I think.
Yeah, no, I think this is really great. I mean, that's part of, that's why I'm kind of excited about these things, because how many people go to a concert to hear Schoenberg? But when I put Schoenberg in this context, people actually, I mean, after the concert, they said, oh wow, I didn't know Schoenberg was so cool. So that doesn't mean that we're taking away from the quality of the performance, but Schoenberg has some new fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody may join the Facebook Schoenberg fan club or something.
But that's so important, I think. I think for me, it's so important, I think, that younger people are, you know, get drawn in a little bit to the music, to the classical music. And I think in a way we can, even if it's an unconventional way, but to make them more interested, I think would also be a good thing.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And I'm definitely not one of the people who just, if it's not the way the composer wrote it, we shouldn't do it. If you can attract bigger audience, why not? It's, I mean, I'm sure that I hope the composers are happy. Not sure about Schoenberg, but Bach would be happy.
Oh, okay. But so tell me now, this studio and your piano is there, and you say you do concerts there as well.
Yes. So this is our house, and we. I have a really nice Steinway piano, and we have regular house concerts. We can also, we have these big sliding doors where half of the audience can be actually sitting on the porch and half could be in.
Okay.
And it's like one big space, and the acoustics are very good. So unfortunately the pandemic stopped that, so we couldn't do it. But having the festival, the house festival in the summer was really great. It's actually part of the Italian festival where I go every year, but because of the pandemic we had to cancel it. So we decided, let's do it online. And because there were so many people who were in this area, we said, for everybody who's here, we're going to have a house festival in the house. For everybody who's all over the world, you can join us anytime via, I had live streaming of all concerts. They could join via Zoom and witness all the classes. There were teachers who joined from all over the world who gave classes. We had a giant screen back there,
really?
So everybody was watching. So it was really 2 weeks of, especially after a year and a half of nothing. These 2 weeks were so inspiring, and hopefully we can go back to live concerts soon. And the art also is all in this space. It's kind of very, actually the painting, the big blue painting on the back, that's in one of my poetry series films, the one called The Gate of the Sea. I use that one because I really like this painting. It's like a gate, and it's hard to see from here, but this is made out of fishnet, the little gate. So I had I thought of this poem by E. Cummings that ends with whatever we lose, like you or me, we always find ourselves in the sea. We find ourselves always in the sea. So then I thought, oh, that would be really, somehow I want to use that with this painting. And then there is this music by Barrio, a piece called Water Music, which worked very well with it. So I put the paintings, I made two paintings next to each other. In one of them, inside the gate, I filmed myself from the back with the light in front playing that piece. And on the other, I had a dancer dancing inside
Beautiful.
the sea. And then eventually, at the end, the two became one. So, and then we
Amazing.
got lost in the sea. So that's the painting
That's
back
the
there.
painting. Oh, okay. Yeah.
We got it from a gallery in Paris where we play often, and we just loved it so.
But tell me now, the home concerts. Did you do that before the pandemic? Was that
Yes.
something you did regularly before the pandemic?
Yes, that was the main reason we got this house, because it has this space and it has very high ceiling and really nice acoustics. So we had concerts, friends, students, guests, not like a real series, just from time to time we have a house concert with some great performers and we invite people to come, and it's great experience of I mean, for chamber music and for piano, I personally think I enjoy so much more being in a concert like that than in a big hall. You could barely see the piano all the way down there, and there are all these people around. Nothing against people, but there are a lot of them.
Yeah. I understand what you mean, because I actually, for the first time, I went to a house concert just after our lockdown time here in Vienna, and I found it very enjoyable, because I thought exactly this thing that you were almost felt a little bit, it felt more intimate, and you felt a little more connected to the musicians, and I loved it. And then I heard from a conductor here in Vienna that was actually years ago a very normal thing to do, house concerts.
I mean, that's how, especially in Vienna, I mean, when Schubert, I mean, it was all house concert when he was playing, and that's where the word chamber music camera music.
Oh, I see.
It's like from a room. So I just feel, as you said, so intimate, and you feel like part of the music, and you're comfortable, and the musician and the music is right there. And when you're on the other side, when you play, it feels so much better to just know that all these people are right there in the same space with you. Instead of I'm on stage, I'm the star, and there are all these people that I don't know any of them, so I'm gonna play for you. Nothing wrong with that, but it's a different feeling. And a lot of the piano music, especially, I mean, it was written for this type of setting, especially 19th century music. So.
Yeah, but what a lot of artists also told me when I photographed them in their windows was this thing where they missed the audience, this energy from the audience. And of course, then if you have such a small room and you're so close to your audience, then you must feel this energy so much more than you do in a big hall.
Yeah, that's true, especially when you know a lot of these people. It's always it's always better when you know somebody in the audience, even if it's a big hall. If you know that somebody you know is there, it's I don't know, it feels different. But in this case, you know so many people, and you know that they're really comfortable. They may have a glass of wine while you're playing, or some pastry, and it's just, I don't know, I just like the whole feeling of it.
Well, Svetozar, I would love to come to one of your home concerts.
Please do.
I've never been to America, but this is now one of my dreams that I come
Great.
there. Where are you based exactly?
I'm in Tampa, Florida, which is on the Mexican Gulf, and we've been here since 1999, so 22 years
Really?
already. Yeah, and I still feel like a guest, because Florida is not a place where, unless you're from Florida, it never feels like home.
Really?
It's
Does it feel like holiday or what?
Yeah. I mean, people come here to go to the beach, but I live here. It's weird.
Oh, okay.
But we're still here.
Okay.
But please do anytime, and I will. I mean, sometimes I actually stream the concerts.
Oh, but please let me know. Yeah.
Equipment, and sometimes we stream them live, so people who cannot come can watch them from home.
Yeah.
So I will definitely.
Please let me know, and I will also put that on the Facebook on the Artist's Voice. I would love to put it there so that people, because I want to put your series of videos on there as well, because they're so beautiful. Yeah. Yes.
And I loved your photography. The ones are so powerful. The one with the musicians from their windows.
Oh, thank you so much.
Really, feels.
Really, it was such a privilege, you know, and it's such a great experience. And I'm actually writing about this experience because I've learned so much. I mean, my life has changed so much from speaking to artists. I think you have the most beautiful thought processes and minds, and way you look at the world, and the way you just live your lives. And then I think, you know, the rest of the world should just have, and this is why I do these interviews. It's because I think people should hear, you know, people who are interested should hear.
Oh, but yeah. If only artists were running the world and not politicians.
100%, 100%. But I think you are the dreamers of the world. And what I actually realized in this process also was that you are so the evidence that dreams come true. Because if you think of it this way, that when you were a young boy starting to play the piano, somewhere in your mind you must have dreamt, or you must have thought you wanted to be a concert pianist, and now you are a concert pianist. So that's yes, there was a lot of things happening in the process, but the point is that your dream came true. Yes, so if you think of it that way, it's you know, for all the realists in this world, I just want to say, look at the artists. They've all their dreams have come true, because you're all there where you thought you would want to be.
Oh, this is so beautifully said. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
exactly,
definitely. Yeah. But now I want to ask you something on a lighter note. Do you have a little ritual before a performance? Do you have something that you do? Or just what is your sort of routine before the day of the concert?
Yes, I think everybody has something, and just have and I think we stick to that thing, and I have no idea if that works or not, but we keep doing it because we think that, if you don't do it, something bad will happen. Yeah. But I mean, like the day of a concert, I don't practice. I just go very slowly over the pieces that I'll play, and I try to keep very low emotional level. Like I don't want to get excited about anything. I want to keep the excitement for the concert. And even when I start playing a little bit, I don't want to get into the piece, because I feel like, if I get now, I won't be able, I'll get emotionally exhausted, and so I want to leave everything for the actual performance. And then purely practical things. I don't eat a lot because my stomach gets all messed up because of all the adrenaline or something. And I don't like talking to people before a concert.
Really?
And very often especially when you travel, like people want to talk to you backstage and they come in, and I don't like shaking hands because some people have really strong shake. They just hold your hands so hard. No, I have to play now. Don't do that. Yeah.
I'd never thought of that, but yeah.
Yeah, or if some hands are really cold or sweaty, and I just don't like shaking hands. And I just try to keep it very kind of getting this mood of, oh, I'm gonna go somewhere else and I'll make something different, and then just go on stage and play. I also don't like intermissions during concerts. Like if it's a normal concert. I mean, the multimedia programs usually don't have intermissions, it's one event. But I've never liked intermissions after I play the first half. It's very easy to lose the mood that you're in. And you feel exhausted because you gave everything during the first half. But if you keep doing it, then you can hold it until the end. And it's really unfortunate when you, like in the middle of a piece or in the middle of a concert, you feel emotionally drained. So that's why I personally don't like stopping in the middle of a concert and taking a break. I just want to go through the entire concert. And getting to that point, I mean, that's just practicing. Everybody does it differently, but the last maybe couple weeks or so, I just like going through the piece and I know exactly how I feel at any particular moment, how I feel purely emotionally. And and then we go and we party.
Oh, yeah. I just want to know, are you a beer man or a wine man afterwards?
I don't like beer.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry to say that because you're from Vienna. But I like wine.
Yeah.
Better than beer, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
And so definitely a wine person.
So do you drink a glass of wine after the concert?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to make a good martini also after the concert. Okay, I sound like an alcoholic here. No.
No,
That's why I play concerts, so I can drink afterwards. No.
You're the first musician that says you drink a martini. So that's great.
I love to make a good martini. And
really?
I love as much the process of making it than.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I love both, but yeah, that's one, not more than one, and but never before a concert. No.
Hopefully. So, but are you then after the concert? Are you then very relaxed, and then people can talk to you?
Oh yeah, I would love to talk to people after the concert. Yeah, I mean, you feel really tired, but you're really excited that it's over, and often you say, I mean, I'm sure many times I'm too excited and I say all kinds of stupid things, but that's part of it because you went through all this experience of playing live and then, it's over now and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure I talk too much after the concert. But before the concert, please, if you're watching this video, don't talk to me and don't shake my hand.
Well, I don't even need a concert. I'd say stupid things anyway, every day. So,
well, welcome to the club. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. But this was so lovely now to talk to you. And I love the setting. Love to see your piano there. And I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to post all your series of videos. So in time after this interview, And yes, I will. This is my wish that I come to one of your home
Hopefully,
concerts.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is a small world. Once the pandemic
Yes,
is over,
nothing is
and
impossible. Nothing
and
is impossible.
why not go to Florida in the winter?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
thank you
yeah.
so much for doing that. It was really
No,
fun
I
to
thank
talk.
you. This is amazing, and thank you for sending me all those works. And you don't mind if I post them on Facebook on the Artist
Oh no,
Voice?
no, definitely not. Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it is a beautiful series. I
yeah.
I watched some of it. It's really, um, it's so great to see all these different people, different artists, completely different points of view and different thoughts, and it's just exciting. It makes you
Mm.
hopeful for the future watching all these people talk
There
about
are.
what they do and being
Mm.
passionate about it.
I know, and there's so many, and I speak to many students as well. I'm so interested in what they have to say because, of course, they are on the threshold of the whole career, and it's always interesting for me also to hear them speak. So, but thank you so much,
Thank you.
and we
And
will
I will
meet.
see you in Florida.
That's right, and I will definitely meet in person. But whenever you come to Vienna as well, do you ever come to this
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one?
I
You
go
do.
sometimes. Yeah,
Mm.
and it's a beautiful city, and
Mm.
I love like early 20th century art. So Vienna is the
Oh,
place
okay.
to be for that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But let me know, please, when you're here, and then I would love to meet you in person.
definitely.
If it's not before I come to Florida.
Yeah. Well, let's hope one of the two happens very soon.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, have a lovely afternoon,
Thank
and
you.
and please let
We'll
me
be in
also
touch.
know when you have any interesting project. It's lovely to talk to you, and it's
Yes,
very
definitely.
inspiring. So let me know of any future projects, and we can talk about this as well.
Yes. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Petra. See
Okay.
you soon.
Bye. See you
See you in
soon.
Florida. Bye.
Bye.